Good morning. It's Tom Padula from TomPadulaTV on YouTube and, of course, Insegna Booksellers. And it's Sunday, the 19th of June, 2022. And today is the second canto of Purgatorio from La Divina Commedia, written by Dante Alighieri. Now, we've gone through Inferno, the first book, and this is the second book of the three-book series, Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. It's a different world, this one, from the ones we left behind, where there's so much trouble and people being punished because of their sins, etc., etc. Here, I don't know, I feel a little bit more relaxed about Purgatorio. For some reason, I've taken it a bit too lightly, I think, like we do with our friends. You know, we sort of take them for granted because we know that whatever we do, in the end, we get forgiven, sort of thing, and life goes on. And the same feeling about Purgatorio, you know, Catone says, welcomes them when Virgilio and Dante come out of the Inferno and says, now listen, this is the beginning of a new day, sort of thing, and you're in a new world. So what are you doing here? And Virgilio explained, look, we're going through. I mean, you know, Dante has actually a physical body. And God upstairs, they want him to go through the three parts of the Al-Dila, of the spiritual, if you like, the spiritual world that we all have within ourselves, and that, you know, we have to come to grips with, whether, in fact, we are here only on a temporary passage, because, you know, if you think about even 100 years in terms of eternity, it's just a blink, really. So Purgatorio tells us something. And Purgatorio is actually a mountain under Jerusalem, you know, according to Dante, and it's daytime. The second canto, we've left the first canto, and Catone says, no, go forward and you'll be able to get to the bottom of the mountain and you'll be fine. You know, you'll be fine. So they're on the beach, you know, on the flat part, and they're a bit lost, you know. I mean, it's like, you know, when you first arrive somewhere, you stop. What do? You look around and the sun is starting to come out. So in other words, consciously you leave behind all that bad world that you visited. Now it's an expectation of better times ahead. And, you know, Paradiso is very far away from Dante and Virgilio too. But Paradiso, therefore, Purgatorio, is more like what we have on earth. We generally, you know, I've taught for many years, and I think I can honestly say that 90 plus, there are very few people who are really quite bad. Most people are good, except there's a percentage of bad in every one of us, and some people have got a little bit more than others, and that's what happens. But we tend to live with each other. When we live in peace, we are in a sort of earthly paradise. That's why we're going to avoid wars, so that we can live nicely and enjoy ourselves day by day. Now that was a reflection on the second canto. I must admit I haven't read it before. I've read it a little bit now, this requires a lot more study than I've given it so far, but I'm not really worried because with Purgatorio you can be forgiven if you're a bit slack. But Catone behind says, "Now listen, if you really want to get to paradise, you better start doing something. Come on, get on with it. And, don't waste time." And that's where Dante and Virgilio are, except that in the distance now, this is where the new part comes in, there's a boat that comes. They can't see it in the distance, but Virgilio knows more than Dante, of course. Says, "Now listen, there is a boat there, and one of the angels is bringing the souls to purgatory," and they're sort of quite happy. It's like going to a party, we're going to go there, and we're going to be reaching paradise. But now we are on earth, we are in Purgatorio. So Purgatorio is about the nice part of life in our world. That's basically it. When people are in peace, they feel harmony towards others. You have a good feeling. That doesn't mean you don't notice the bad things, but you tend to be quite happy because there is hope ahead of us. So it's 11:30 now. I just want to mention that I will be doing 2 of my poems from Amica Poesia, from TomPadulaTV, and from TomPadula. And today I was mentioning TV because there are 2 poems. One of them is Let's Learn, Impariamo, and the other one is Scuola e TV. I wrote that about 30 years ago when I was at school, and I thought, we could, the children would benefit maybe if I wasn't in the class. It's like now, I'm really enjoying it because nobody disturbs me. I can say whatever I want, make all my mistakes, and then I'll get criticised afterwards, of course, or praised, whichever one people feel like, offering me. The last bit will be songs with Dora and Rino Marchese. Now, next week I'll be at Federazione Lucana for my 1.5 hours on a Sunday. And the Sunday, it's generally going to be the last Sunday of each month. And I'm trying to encourage quite a few people who follow my work online to actually come down and meet me. And I want to form, I want to see whether we can build up an interested group for language, culture and language. Of course, Italian, but it doesn't have to be Italian. It can be other ones as well. So everyone is welcome. I make no distinction. And next week, I'm hoping to have some music there, if I'm lucky to, if what I think works out. I don't want to mention anybody or anything, but and I'll be concentrating a lot more on songs, singing songs, the lyrics of songs. Okay, so that's enough for me. Let me have a drink, and I'll start canto secondo of Purgatorio. And here we go. And if you had the book, it would be much easier for everyone around, of course. Will I read? Look, I will read the note on the top of the canto, all right? But it's in Italian. Mentre I poeti fatti i comandi di Catone sono ancora sul lido, pensando il cammino, viene una navicella governata da un angelo che sbarca una moltitudine di anime destinate al purgatorio. So basically, the poets there, they're still on the Lido, on the beachfront, or near the river, but I think it's a lake, or there's water there. And they can see in the distance una navicella, a boat, and an angel is at the helm and bringing in a multitude of souls. s'affollano esse per meraviglia intorno al peregrino vivente. When they arrive, they're very curious about this soul that has got a body. Ad una tra l'altra lo riconosce. And one of the souls recognizes Dante, and Dante recognizes the other person as well. E Casella was a friend of Alighieri, of Dante Alighieri, and he was a very good singer and musician, etc. È esimio cantore, il quale, invitato dal poeta, the poet, Dante, like me, would you read one of my poems? Comincia a cantare una canzone di lui, of Dante's, one of the songs. I poeti e le anime ammaliate sono ad ascoltarle, so everyone is listening, enjoying themselves. Quando sopraggiunge Catone, the president arrives and says, "What are you doing here? Go on." Che le sgrida della loro negligenza, so negligence. What are you doing? Don't waste time. Go and, go into the kitchen and do what you have to do. Don't listen to this guy or whatever. Ed esse fuggono smarrite al monte, and the souls, they run away towards the bottom of the mountain which they have to climb, slowly but surely. Ok, so on that note, già era il sole all'orizzonte giunto, lo cui meridian cerchio coverchia Gerusalemme col suo più alto punto. E la notte che apposita lui cerchia uscia di Gange fuor colle bilance che le cagion di man quando soverchia, sicché le bianche e le vermiglie guance laddove io era della bella aurora per troppa etate divenivano rance. Noi eravamo lunghesso il mare ancora come gente che pensa suo... I better explain the first part. The first part there, he mentions Jerusalem, that's the bottom of the mountain that leads to Purgatorio, the Ganges River in India, and also there's another river that, in other words, the Meridiano, when the sun is coming out in the sky, it comes from there. Gange, l'aurora. Perciò petate venire arance. Noi eravamo lunghessi il mare. You need a bit of study here again, because these are difficult lines to interpret. Noi eravamo lunghessi il mare ancora, come gente che pensa al suo cammino, che va col cuore, col corpo dimora. So, you're hoping with your heart, but col corpo dimora, with the body, it sort of stays a bit put. Ed ecco qua su il presso del mattino, towards where the sun is coming from, per i grossi vapor Marte rosseggia, già nel ponente sopra il suo marino. Cotal m'apparve se ancor lo veggia, un lume per la mar venirsi ratto che il mover suo nessun volar pareggia. So, he mentions Marte. Again, this is Marte is the god of war, red at the beginning of the day, sort of thing. And in the distance, it sees there's a light and it becomes a boat, but it's very fast, comes very fast, because there's an angel there, it's got wings. Che il mover suo nessun volar pareggia. Ok. Dal qual, com'io un poco ebbi ritratto, l'occhio per dimandarlo duca mio, you wanted to ask Virgilio, what's going on? Rividi il più lucente maggior fatto, but before I could even do that, I could see it better. That's what he says. Poi d'ogni lato adesso apparia un non sapea che bianco e di sotto a poco un altro a lui in uscia. So slowly the souls came out of the boat. Lo mio maestro ancora non fece motto, but Virgilio didn't say a word still. Mentre che i primi bianchi apparsero ali, ma allor che ben conobbe il galeotto, gridò. But as soon as he saw the angel, he screamed. He said to Dante, fa, che le ginocchia cala. In other words, in front of a God figure, you have to kneel. and this is quite common in the old dictatorial governors of places. They all had to kneel in front of the king or the governor, whoever was in charge. But they had to be really quite important. Ecco l'angelo di Dio, ecco l'angelo. Piega le mani. Piega le mani. Brings, so he's saying to the souls, we've arrived, sort of thing. He lowers his hands. Ormai vedrai di siffatti ufficiali. It's like an official arrival. Vedi che sdegna gli argomenti umani. He doesn't care about gli argomenti umani. In other words, whatever happened in life, he doesn't have even a conception of it. He's one of the blessed people. Sì che il remo non vuol né altro velo che l'ale sue tra liti sì lontani. So, whatever those souls had and were worried about in the past, they are behind. The angel is bringing them to a place where their sins slowly but surely disappear from their being and purifies the soul before they can go to paradise. So they're far away. And the sun is also rising. It's very good. Welcome to Nina Alberti. Good to have someone with me this morning. Vedi come là dritte verso il cielo, trattando l'aere con le eterne penne, che non si mutan come mortal pelo. Trattando l'aria con le eterne penne, so le penne dell'angelo, no? Che non si mutano, they don't change come mortal pelo, come i nostri capelli, le nostre cose mortali. The angel is always the same. Poi come più e più verso noi venne l'uccello divino, he calls the angel l'uccello divino, più chiaro appariva. So as he moved towards us, he appeared very clear. Ma chi nel giù se quese venne arriva con un vasello stelletto e leggero, tanto che l'acqua nulla ne inghiottiva. So, l'uccello divino più chiaro appariva perché l'occhio da presso non lo sostenne. From close by we couldn't really look at him. He had so much light in him, this angel. Che non va serse lettere leggere, tanto che l'acqua nulla ne inghiottiva. Anyway, da poppa stava il celestial nocchiero, tal che parea beato per iscritto. He looked blessed, as if that was his life. E più di 100 spiriti entro sediero, and more than 100 souls were seated there in the boat. Now don't forget, all these boats and all these souls don't have a body, yet Dante describes them as humans, in a human way, in human form, except they haven't got material. And they were singing in Exitu Israel de Egitto. So they were singing a hymn, as like the Jews were coming out of Egypt to salvation. Cantavano tutti insieme ad una voce. They were quite a choir, everyone, 100 people singing in one voice. Not bad. Must have known, all of them must know the music. Con quanto di quel salmo e poscia scritto. By the way, that thing about singing in a sacred place, I've experienced that as a child in Montemura, la Madonna there on the mountain. I remember Mum and the others, they were all singing beautiful songs. It was like being in paradise. I was very young, but that sort of, and when I went to Italy not so long ago, the same thing, they kept it up. So really, in some churches, the people who frequent them often and are part of that community, they learn the songs, and when they sing in unison. Ok, cantavano tutti insieme ad una voce, con quanto di quel salmo e poscia scritto. Poi fece il segno loro di Santa Croce, quei si gittarono tutti in sulla spiaggia. So he blessed them. I say, go, like the priest at the end of the mass. Now you go. That's what the angel said to the, made the signal to them. You can go now. Leave the boat and get on the Lido. Il Lido is it's like a beach, you know, a flat land, a flat land. La turba che rimase lì, selvaggia, parea del loco. So la turba, so, and, you know, onde si gittarono tutti sulla spiaggia, ed ei sentì come venne veloce. Ed ei, that's the angel, sentì, se n'è andato, come venne, like he came, fast, veloce, boom, he went. He did his job, didn't waste any time, he had to go and get another 100 souls. He had a job to do. La turba che rimase lì, la turba is of course the community of souls, che rimase lì, that was left behind with Virgilio and Dante. Selvaggia parea del loco, selvaggia, in other words, they just arrived, they didn't know, wild. Welcome to Beni Lociuro. We're doing Canto 2 of Purgatorio. Ok, la turba che rimase lì selvaggia parea del loco, rimirando intorno, was looking around, come colui che nuove cose assaggia, like someone who's sort of looking around. That's what we do. When I go to a new place, I don't just rush in, I just slowly take my bearings. Da tutte parti saettava il giorno, lo sol, the sun, from everywhere. Now the sun was up, coming up. Che avea con le saette conte di mezzo il ciel cacciato il Capricorno. So again, this is a reference, you know, to Capricorn and its place in the sky and the sun pushing it behind, whatever, you know, it's sort of, that's Dante, you know, references, mythical references, mythological ones, anything to do with explanations of the physical world and the spiritual world. Quando la nuova gente alzò la fronte ver noi, when they then lifted their heads towards us, dicendo a noi, asking us, se voi sapete, if you know, mostrate nella via di gira al monte, show us the way to go to the mountain, Monte Purgatorio. E Virgilio rispose, and of course Virgilio is the guide, he knows, ok? Rispose, voi credete forse che siamo esperti di questo luogo? Do you think really that we are experts of this place? Of course, Virgilio, I don't know whether Virgilio had been there before. He hasn't had a chance, yet he seems to know quite a lot. Forse che siamo esperti di questo luogo, ma noi siamo peregrini, but we are also peregrini. In other words, we also here coming through. Come voi siete, like you. Dianzi venimmo innanzi a voi un poco. We just came back a little bit earlier than you. Per altre vie che fossi aspro e forte. But unlike you, that you were carried by the angel on the boat, we came through another way, which was much more difficult. Virgilio too enjoys this. Che lo salire ormai ne parrà gioco. For us, going up the mountain, it will be a walk in the park for us, but not for you because you haven't experienced the hard bits, have you, in life? And that's what happens. Okay, I better hurry up here because time is running. But this is now the easy part. L'anime che si fur di me accorte per lo spirare che io ero ancora vivo, maravigliando diventare smorte. So once they realized I was alive, yeah? E come messaggero che porto olivo, tragge la gente per udire novelle e di calcar nessun si mostra schivo. So in other words, since you come from where we come from, tell us about our friends, etc. Così al muso mio sa fissar quella, anime fortunate tutte quante. They were all fortunate souls, and they came to my mouth, literally. Quasi ubbriando dire a farsi belle. Io vidi uno di loro traggersi avanti, one of them came forward, per abbracciarmi così grande affetto, he wanted to hug me, con tanto affetto, che mosse a me a farlo somigliante. And I did the same, I rushed towards him. 3 volte dietro a lei, le mani avvinsi, e tutto mi tornai con esso al petto. And as he was going, that's a soul, you can't hug, there's nobody there. Di meraviglia credo mi dipinsi, so I was really surprised, perché l'ombra sorrise e si ritrasse, so the soul understood. Ed io seguendo lei oltre mi pinsi, soavemente disse che io posasse, conobbi allora chi era e la pregai che per riparlarmi un poco s'arrestasse. So the soul here, he puts it in the feminine, but the guy is actually masculine. He was one of Dante's friends. Risposami, così come io ti amai, as I loved you, nel mortal corpo quando ero vivo, no? Così t'amo sciolta, so I still love you, even though I've lost my body, like we do with our dead ones. You know, we never really, they'll never really leave us. They're always with us, even though the body's not here. Casella mia, per tornare altra volta là dove sono, fu io questo viaggio. So, my dear Casella, I came, because I've got to come back there and I've got to do my work for God, because He probably, chosen me to do this work. This year, he said, ma a te come, ma forget about me, but come mai, a te come tant'ora tolto, how come you're not further up? Ed egli a me, nessuno mi ha fatto oltraggio, nobody has hurt me, se quei che leva quando e cui gli piace, più volte mi ha negato sto passaggio. I don't know, let me see. Che di giusto voler lo suo si face. So this reference to God, I didn't do whatever I did, it's God's decision that I should be in purgatorio and that should expiate all the things that I did wrong on life. So, veramente da 3 mesi egli ha tolto chi ha voluto entrare con tutta pace. Apparently this Casella died at the same time as Dante was making his voyage in the afterlife, as a body. Ond'io che era alla marina volto, dove l'acqua di Tevere si insala, benignamente fui da lui ricolto a quella foce ove egli ha rittalare. Talking about Tevere, supposed to, because Dante had gone to see the Pope, etc. Qual verso da Cheronte non si cale, Dio, se nuova legge non ti toglie memoria o uso all'amoroso canto, che mi solea acquetar tutte mie voglie, di ciò ti piaccia consolare alquanto l'anima mia. So, blah, 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 make me feel good here, che con la sua persona, venendo qui affannata tanto. So, amor che nella mente mi ragiona, that's one of his songs. Cominciò egli, he understood Casella. He wants me to read one of his poems or, sing one of his songs. Amor che nella mente mi ragiona, cominciò egli allor sì dolcemente, che la dolcezza ancora dentro mi suona. And so when you hear someone else praising your work and, bringing it into light, because that's what people who entertain do. If they do someone's, if the author is there, it's a big deal. It's something that comes out of your mind. And like me, I've got a lot of my poetry. I'd love a few people to read them. Just, I think my sister done a few, but not many other people, I can assure you. But I intend to. If people come to Federazione Lucana on the last Sunday of each month, from now till November, will be fine. And we will develop something, because it's good to do it. It's good to show our creativity. Okay, allora, so everyone was enjoying the entertainment. Lo mio maestro ed io, a quella gente che erano con lui, parevano sì contenti, they were all so happy, come a nessun toccasse altra la mente, as if, you know, like when you got dancing on it, you forget your worries behind, leave them behind. Come nessun toccasse altra la mente. Noi eravamo tutti fissi ed attenti alle sue note, ed ecco il veglio onesto, Catone, il veglio onesto, the old man, you know, the presidente says, come on, gridando, che c'ho spiriti lenti, what are this, you know, spiriti lenti, qual negligenza, quale stare è questo, what negligence is this, you know, you can't do this, you got a job to do, you got to go Mount Purgatory. Quale stare è questo? Correte al mondo a spogliarvi lo scoglio, che se non lascia a voi Dio manifesta. So God wants you to do it. A scoglio is like a stone, you know, the sins. Welcome to Harry Varelis. Always good to have you here. Come quando cogliendo biado l'olio li colombi adunati alla pastura. So this quieti senza mostrare l'usato orgoglio, se cosa appare ondelli abbiano paura, subitamente lasciano star l'esca perché assaliti son da maggior cura. So in other words, when the boss, when, you know, because nice people do that, the one who's in charge, if he raises his voice, they all obey nicely. But if you're in Inferno, of course you wouldn't. If you still got that spirit of the, you know, you want to go against somebody, it's not good. In a place where there's peace, there's a lot of this going on, that people accept whatever people say. That's why people love to be in charge, because they can talk to the public, and no one else can, unless you're invited. But you're never really invited. Subitamente lasciano star l'esca, perché assaliti son da maggior cura. So they quickly moved to the next place. Così vidi quella masnada fresca lasciare il canto. Masnada fresca, the group, the fresh souls, you know. E girano ver la costa, and they were around the coastline, near the mountain. Come uomo che va, ne sa dove riesce. But they moved so fast, as if they didn't know where they were going. Nella nostra partita fu tosta. So, and we too moved along, and we were just as lost as the souls, or we appeared such. So that's the end of Canto 2. I tell you what, I didn't mind doing that at all, even though I've only read it once before very quickly, but there are a lot of notes. For example, here, masnada fresca, quelle anime che di fresco erano venute, è detto alla latina, dove la voce recens è data loro. So all these, you know, I have books. I've got the Purgatorio there at Insegna Booksellers. I've ordered Inferno, Purgatorio, and Paradiso. If anyone wants to really study this marvelous work, it's a study. You know, you can use my podcasts here, and then you can improve on them. Why not? Wonderful. It's incredibly satisfying. Yeah, I'll show you a couple of pictures before I leave. Okay. I might do that at the end of it. Why not? Here we go. That's the angel and the souls. Okay, there's Dante there. There's Virgilio and Dante. Dante's the one with con la corona, with the crown of fresh ivy or whatever. And then the next one, this one's here. Ed io mirava su intorno al sasso di mano sinistra. So they were coming. I don't know whether this, I should apply to number 2. Okay, well, that's enough. I thought I finished number 2. Hold on. Have I finished it? One, I did that. That one I did. Yeah, I've done it. Yeah, I did it. It's okay. That was the end of it there. It's 133 lines, this particular canto. Okay? And next week we'll do canto terzo. There it is. All right. And now we come to TomPadula. It's like, it's like, for me, it's like talking about a third party that I don't know. This one here is Impariamo, okay? Let's learn. It's a beautiful poem. These are my books here, Amica Poesia. Yeah? That's it there, the poem. That's the book. And I have it in English as well. They're called twin texts. Okay, well, let me read it to you, all right? There we are, ok. Impariamo ogni giorno qualche cosa, che c'è il sole che riscalda la terra, che porta la luce su ogni cosa, che c'è l'oceano, il mare, il lago, il fiume, il ruscello e le pozzanghere, che ci sono i pesci di tante specie, che c'è il vapore che riporta l'acqua lassù nel cielo, dove si forma l'arcobaleno, ma anche le nuvole, la pioggia e la neve. Impariamo che c'è il ghiaccio sui monti alti, ma anche il profumo dei fiori, l'erba fresca, gli animali. Che tanti pastori vivono all'aperto quando d'estate le lucciole brillano nella notte sotto le stelle e la luna. Impariamo adesso qualche cosa sugli umani che vivono al mondo, quelli che si vogliono bene, quelli che aiutano e sorridono, che non vogliono fare la guerra, che cercano sempre la fratellanza. Impariamo ogni giorno insieme a portare ad ogni persona, alla gente, il conforto, la concordia, il benessere. Impariamo infine che l'umanità, che è fragile per natura nell'infinità, ha soltanto tanto bisogno di pace. I think it's one of I love this poem, really. Let's learn. It's in English now. I'll do the translation for you. This morning, I've got a bit of a sniffles here. Let's learn. Let's learn something every day, that there is the sun that warms the earth, that brings light onto everything, that there is the ocean, the sea, the lake, the river, the stream and the puddles, that there are fish of every species, that it is steam that brings water back up there into the sky when the rainbow appears, but also the clouds, rain and the snow. Let's learn that there is ice on tall mountain peaks, but also the smell of flowers, fresh grass, of animals. That many shepherds live in the open when in summer the fireflies shine, in the night under the stars and the moon. Let's learn now something about human beings who live in the world, the ones who care for each other, those who help and smile, the ones who don't want to make war, who try always to reach out to others. Let's learn together every day to bring to every person, to the people, comfort, harmony, well-being. Let's learn finally that humanity, which is fragile by nature in the infinity, has only so much need of peace. That's the translation of it. I think I must have written that in Italian, because the Italian seems to have a better flow. But anyway, the next one is Scuola TV. It's a bit long, but it doesn't matter. I think I've got only 6 songs, so we'll see what happens. Scuola TV. Vogliamo creare una scuola civile, cioè vogliamo che tutti siano gentili, vogliamo avere il più della libertà. Amiamo quando gli altri sono cortesi. Vogliamo insegnare in un ambiente collaborativo dove gli studenti sviluppano la propria disciplina. Vogliamo che gli studenti non lottino fra di loro, che non gridino o sgridino o si comportano male. Vogliamo vedere una buona atmosfera dove ogni persona può fare quello che lui o lei vuole. Non dimentichiamo il nostro ideale di uguale opportunità. Quando gli studenti si comportano bene, capisci che ogni ragazzo può fare quello che vuole, che ogni ragazza riesce a fare quello che le piace. La ragione per questo progresso nel comportamento degli studenti si può attribuire alla televisione. Essi la seguono più attentamente di quanto fanno con noi insegnanti che siamo presenti in classe. Ascolta come parlano gli studenti di questa grande educatrice. Ognuno segue il proprio programma favorito, di cui parla con grande interesse e rispetto. Noi siamo stati rimpiazzati da un istruttore più importante. Ma noi insegnanti non tralasceremo di reclamizzare la nostra presenza ed influenza nelle scuole. Cosa dobbiamo fare? Trovare una soluzione. Forse dovremmo usare le nostre immagini di maestri per andare in onda, per comunicare con i nostri studenti, siccome essi sono più disposti ad ascoltarci quando noi non siamo più là in classe fisicamente di persona. È un nuovo insegnamento virtuale, senza emozioni. Se vuoi veramente insegnare in questa era virtuale, devi essere disposto ad affrontare la realtà di una nuova didattica telematica, visiva, obiettiva. Tu, insegnante, avrai un impatto maggiore su coloro che vogliono veramente ascoltarti o eliminarti con un clic di bottone per accendere o spegnere la televisione. Now, listen to this. I wrote this 30 years ago, before the internet was even on. Amazing. When I think about it, it's I analysed it very well for the kids. They loved their TV and the programs there. Now they love, the technology, the iPhone. But can I say this? I've actually joined them as well. I'm becoming very good with technology. And I encourage every adult, especially the ones in the third age, non è mai troppo tardi. Well, until it is. School and TV. We want to make our school civilized. That is, we want everyone to be polite. We want to have the most of freedom. We love when others are courteous. We want to teach in an environment of collaboration where students develop their own self-discipline. We want that students do not fight with each other, that they do not shout or scream or misbehave. We want to see a nice atmosphere where each person can do what he or she wants. Let's not forget our ideal of equal opportunity. When the students behave well, you realize that every boy can do what he wants, that every girl succeeds in doing what she pleases. The reason for this progress in the behavior of students can be attributed to television. They follow her more closely than they do with us teachers who are present in class. Listen to how the students speak of this great educator. Everyone follows his own favourite program, of which he speaks with great interest and respect. We have been replaced by a more important instructor. But we teachers will not give up to reclaim our presence and influence in schools. What shall we do? Find a solution. Notice I used the word instructor when it came to teaching on television. Not a real teacher, dealing with emotions. Maybe we should use our images of teachers to go to air to communicate with our students, since they are more willing to listen to us when we are no longer there in class physically as a person. It's a novel virtual teaching without emotions. If you really want to teach in this virtual reality, you must be prepared to face the reality of a new telematic, visible, objective teaching style. Your teacher will have a greater impact on those that want to really listen to you or eliminate you with the click of a button to turn on or turn off the television set and get rid of you or stay in your company. Exactly what you can do now. You don't want me? Bang. You eliminate me without any second thought. You can, but if you're smart, you'll stay on. I need you. Okay, now we come to the singing part, okay? Now let me see. Let me see if I can do this on, huh? I've got to do it again, okay. This will be very interesting today, I think. Here we go. Okay. Now, this week on Thursday, it was, I went to see these lovely people here. I went to see, there's me and there's Rena and Dora with the mandolin there. Okay, and we always start with a photo because that's our rehearsal time. But, you know, the way we rehearse, we sing sometimes the song straight out without any practice, nothing. We just go into it. And look at what happens. Here we are. Let's have a look. The first one is, I think it's called Signora Fortuna. It's raining outside, but we are inside with Dora and Rena, and we're going to have another bit of time to dedicate to these beautiful songs, Italian songs that have been played and are being played on YouTube everywhere. So, but we are interested in the lyrics of songs so that people can sing in their own homes and bring joy to their heart. And that's why we do this work. Don't worry about the mistakes. Okay? Criticize us, but you try and see if you can do better.
We accept.
Okay. Okay, so that was the introduction. The way I do it now, I do the introduction separately, because sometimes if we make a mistake, we might actually, you know, repeat the song one more time. Well, this is Signora Fortuna. But we didn't this time. This was straight in. Let's go. C'è una strada chiamata destino che porta in collina. C'è sul colle una casa argentata dal chiaro di luna. Chi va in cerca d'amore mi trova una fata divina, che signora del bene e del male si chiama Fortuna. Bella, levis in pianto, tu che fai tante grazie, una soltanto, dammi l'amore di una bimba bruna, quella volta mai chiusa la porta, signora Fortuna, oh signora Fortuna. Ed avevo una bella casetta di sogni e d'amore, ed avevo un amore di bimba dagli occhi di mare, ma un'ondata di vento ha distrutto la casa e il mio cuore. T'ho pregato, signora Fortuna, davanti all'altare. Bella, se mi vuoi bene, falla tornare che io muoio dalle pene. Son senza amore, non ho più nessuna, ed ancora mai chiuso la porta, signora Fortuna, oh signora Fortuna. Ma stanotte guidata dal cuore, da un raggio di luna, ho ripreso la strada più antica che sempre più buona. C'era un'ombra tremante, la chiola più bianca che bruna, con un bacio mi ha detto, sua mamma che mai t'abbandona. Mamma, Fortuna mia, questa è la migliore grazia che ci sia, perché di mamma ce n'è solo una. Questa volta m'ha chiuso la porta, signora Fortuna, oh signora Fortuna. Wow. Well, what did you think of that one? You know, it would be nice to... the question I would like to ask you all, you know, if you're on, did you know this song? You know, I mean, there are a lot of Italian songs, but some of them you know, and some of them you don't. Now, did you know Signora Fortuna? It's an old song, and it's very good to, you know, for adult classes as well. It's about fortune, meeting the right person. But this one here fortune wasn't too kind to this person, except the only person he could trust in terms of, being loved is his mother. La mamma, Signora Fortuna. She'll never let you down. It's unconditional love. It's not bad. It's a good song. Now the next one is an interesting one because Dora actually didn't know, even if she does, but they've never done it before, musically speaking. It's called September. It's got beautiful words as well. So I'll show you what happens. Here we go. I think, did I do that right? I think this is the one. Well, I'm going to try September on my own. Here we go. No. Fra qualche? No, it was this one here. Noi abbiamo un problema adesso, we got a problem. Dora dice, non ho mai sentita questa canzone, non la conosco. E io dico, Dora non ti preoccupare perché la musica viene da sola, perché ce l'hai nel sangue, eccetera, eccetera. Quindi, let's try it, Rina. We know what to do. E tu, Dora, fai quello che puoi, non ti preoccupare. Ok? Yeah, well, it's a challenge, this one. Well, I'm going to try September on my own. Here we go. Fra qualche giorno finirà l'estate e sulla spiaggia niente resterà. Le ore passate saranno un ricordo che noi porteremo lontano, io e te. L'estate se ne andrà insieme al sole, l'amore se n'è andato già con lei, le prime gocce baciano la sabbia e stanno già bagnando gli occhi miei. Settembre poi verrà, ma senza sole e forse un altro amore nascerà. Settembre poi verrà, ma non ti troverà e piangeranno solo gli occhi miei. Settembre poi verrà, ma non ti troverà e piangeranno solo gli occhi miei. Now, I've tried that. It's a first and it's a very difficult song to sing, but I want people to actually try it out. If you can do it better than me, that'll be fantastic. Okay, now for the next one. It's a challenge to people. Because singing, when you do it professionally as well, in front of public, it's a different ball game altogether. This one here, but you can, if you've got ambitions to sing, you sing for real pleasure. And it's important that you do, because when you sing, you forget about everything else. Here we go. The next one is a lot better. It's another famous Italian song, this one. Well, this one here is Torna Piccina, and Dora is still not familiar, but we're going to try it anyway. We can manage, okay? So that'll be fantastic to try it together now, okay. Okay, so that's Torna Piccina. Here we go. Torna Piccina, Dora, comincia tu. Senza amore, tutto svanisce, non si sorride più. Ho una speranza ancora fonda. Questa speranza mia sei solo tu. Torna da tuo papà. E lui ti aspetta sempre con ansietà. Tra le sue braccia amore, e ti stringerà. La mia nanna ancora ti canterà. Sei tutta la mia vita, tutto tu sei per me. Certo sarà finita, se resto senza te, mio bene, torna vicina mia, torna che tuo papà, l'anima nanna ancora ti canterà. Quando fa notte brillano le stelle, penso a chi sogna un mondo di felicità, ma la mia stella bella fra le belle, chissà se un giorno ancora brillerà. Torna vicina mia, torna dal tuo papà, e ti aspetta sempre con ansietà. Dalle sue braccia amore, e ti stringerà, l'anima nanna ancora ti canterà. Sei tutta la mia vita, tutto tu sei per me, certo sarà finita se resto senza te, mio bene, torna vicina, torna per tuo papà, l'anima nanna ancora ti canterà. That is a beautiful song too. That played by some very important Italian singers in the 30s, I think, 40s, etc. Torna Piccina, the Gorgheggi. They used to sing it beautifully. But I concentrate on the actual lyrics because those songs have got beautiful stories behind them, and it's wonderful, wonderful. The next one is one that, Nicola Di Bari, I don't know whether you've heard of him, he's a wonderful Italian singer. So if you can say to me, yes, I've heard of Nicola Di Bari, I like his songs, etc., please make comments if you want. Okay, here we go. This next song is called Chitarra Suona Più Piano, and one of my favorite, and I think everyone's favorite, Nicola Di Bari. Thank you for the beautiful music that you played over the years, and I've listened to some of his interviews on YouTube. What a wonderful man. Okay, so Chitarra Suona Più Piano, we're going to sing it right here in Glenroy at Dora and Reno's place. Well done. Yeah, and here comes the ad first. I should really do an ad, shouldn't I? Don't forget next Sunday. Siamo pronti? Chitarra suona più piano. Dove? Suona più piano, qualcuno lo può sentire, soltanto lei deve capire, lei sola deve sapere che sto parlando d'amore. Canta i grilli nel grano, è un passero sul ramo, nessuno dorme questa sera, nemmeno lei a quest'ora, stringe il cuscino, sospira, la luna è ferma nel cielo, la luce va sul velo, chitarra mia suona più piano, anche se incetta la mano, suona chitarra che non ora di darle tutto il bene che ha nel cuore, di dirle addio per sempre, perdonare e amarla come un altro non sa fare, l'ora di respirare un sorso come l'altra, un prato verde quando è primavera, il sole caldo e poi scende la sera. Per noi la notte odora di fieno, io dormo sul tuo seno, Dio come batte il suo cuore, La gente sogna a quest'ora, dorme una chitarra che l'ora di darle tutto il bene che nel cuore, di dirle addio per sempre, perdonare e amarla come un'altra non sa fare. Dove sono? L'ora di l'ora di respirare un poco d'aria pura, un prato verde quando è primavera, il sole caldo e poi scende la sera. Wow. Nicola Di Bari has many songs, and he's quite big on YouTube, and he sings also in Spanish. Very good. I like some of his work in Spanish. And a lot of the Italian singers do sing in French, Spanish, German, other languages as well, because obviously entertainers have to move around. And so therefore the learning of another language or songs in other languages is possible. It's a limited use of of another language, but still it gives you ownership of that particular language in that particular song. It's not bad. I think it's it's a good idea to learn other languages too. And talking about learning other languages, I am teaching French at the University of the Third Age there in North Bowen, and I'm hoping to have an Italian class as well. And I think reflecting on the role of Italian clubs, when they first started in the early 70s here in Melbourne, a lot of them started. Quite a few of them actually had Italian classes within their premises. And then something happened at the end of the 1970s, and it was concentrated in the hands of just two organisations by the Italian government at the time. But at the same time that was happening, there was a spread of, a lot of Italian classes began. And, I'm going to take some sort of credit for that, because I was the first Italian consultant for Victoria, 76 to 80, and under that leadership there, a lot of schools began Italian. In 1974, there were only 14 schools in state high schools that taught Italian. By 1980, there was about 80 plus, and they've remained ever since. Now, because of the incoming of other languages, like, the Asian languages and languages from all over the world, which is a good thing, because we have people from all over the world, and therefore each group has their own identity with language and culture. So that's why it's important that, that these languages keep on being taught. But education is for life. It's not just for one day or for children. In fact, adults need education throughout life. And, the TAFE system, now the University of the Third Age, but the TAFE system, if it's strengthened, it'll be a great thing for this country. So, on that note, I think there's a song called La Lontananza by Domenico Modugno, The Far Away. This may be faraway dreams for me, but this is the song, La Lontananza. E questa è una canzone di Domenico Modugno che piace a me, perché si può parlare e suonare e cantare allo stesso tempo. Ok, La Lontananza is next. Grazie Domenico Modugno, perché ci hai insegnato che il parlare è anche possibile quando si canta. Ok. Okay, so let's listen to this one. Here we go. La lontananza. Mi ricordo che il nostro discorso fu interrotto da una sirena che correva lontana, chissà dove. Io ebbi paura perché sempre, quando sento questo suono, penso a qualcosa di grave e non mi rendevo conto che per me e per te non poteva accadere nulla di più grave del nostro lasciarci. Allora, come ora, ci guardavamo. Avremmo voluto rimanere abbracciati ed invece, con un sorriso, ti ho accompagnato per la solita strada. Ti ho baciata, come sempre, e ti ho detto dolcemente, la lontananza, sai, è come il vento. Spegne i fuochi piccoli, ma accende quelli grandi, quelli grandi. La lontananza, sai, è come il vento che fa dimenticare chi non sana. È già passato un anno ed è un incendio che mi brucia l'anima. Io che credevo d'essere il più forte, mi sono illuso di dimenticare, e invece sono qui a ricordare te. La lontananza, sai, è come il vento che fa dimenticare chi non sana. È già passato un anno ed è un incendio che brucia l'anima. Adesso che è passato tanto tempo, dare la vita per averti accanto, per rivederti almeno un solo istante, per dirti perdonami, non ho capito niente del tuo bene ed ho gettato via inutilmente l'unica cosa vera della mia vita, l'amore tuo per me. Ciao amore, ciao, non piangere, che fa dimenticare chi non sa. Vedrai che tornerò, io te lo prometto, ritornerò, te lo giuro amore, ritornerò. È già passato un anno ed è un incendio, perché ti amo, ritornerò. Io che credevo d'essere più forte, mi sono illuso di dimenticare, invece sono qui a ricordare te. Well, there's one more song, and then we'll call it a finale here. I need, we'll go over time a little bit. Mi diceva che ieri sera Dora ha visto Ivan Zanicchi e proprio i cantanti miei favoriti pure, e c'è qua un grande amore, niente più, di Peppino Di Capri, che Dora non è nel suo repertorio, eccetera. Quindi la farò io un po', ok? Rino, se vuoi... Ok. This is, of course, Peppino Di Capri's song. Un grande amore e niente più. Io lontano da te, pescatore lontano dal mare, io chiedo da bere da una fonte asciugata dal sole. Solitudine, malinconia, i soprammobili di casa mia, qualche libro, una poesia e sul piano una fotografia. Io e te, un grande amore e niente più. Io e te, le nostre corse fin laggiù, là dove c'è la capanna scoperta da noi, dove tu mi dicesti vorrei, amore vorrei, stasera vorrei. Notti, notti d'amore, nel silenzio il mio nome, il tuo nome, ma non risale l'acqua di un fiume e nemmeno il tuo amore ritorna da me. Solitudine e malinconia, in ogni angolo, in ogni via, ti rimprovero una sola cosa, che potevi almeno dirmi scusa, io e te, un grande amore, niente più. Io e te, le nostre corse fin laggiù, là dove c'è la capanna scoperta da noi, dove tu mi dicesti vorrei, amore vorrei, stasera vorrei. Io e te, un grande amore, niente più. Io e te, le corse fin laggiù, le nostre corse fin laggiù. Io e te, io e te. Until next time, huh? Thank you very much. Yes. Well, that was it, and that's it for today too. I've enjoyed this hour, of course, I always do. And thank you very much for being on. Welcome, Angela. You come late, but I'm sure that you will listen to this later. And now, yes, it's at the end. That's it. From TomPadula, from TomPadulaTV on YouTube. And of course, if you've got a smart TV, go and look me up. And Insegna Booksellers for all your language needs. Ciao, alla prossima.